Attention listeners, this is not a drill. We are taking over your eardrums. Prepare for your music tastes to be hijacked. This is an auditory revolution. This is Sidilicious Selects. 1 hour of the rarest of tracks made exclusively for the most refined oral palates.
Hello, welcome back to Sidilicious Selects. I'm your host, Sidilicious, as always. Welcome for joining us on another Monday afternoon. And this week we are joined by Anna Zakis. You want to say a few words about yourself?
Hi, my name is Anna Zakis. I've been a member of LSR for probably 3 years now, and this has been the highlight so far. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, that's far too kind. I doubt it's true. You're involved in breakfast. You've got your own podcast, The Kiss and Tell, also on the LSR Spotify account. Tell us more about you.
So, I'm in 4th year now. I've just come back from a placement year in London, so it's interesting being back after being away from LSR for a year. But I will say, Sid, you've welcomed me back with open arms, which has been absolutely wonderful. I think we've become really good friends really quickly, and I'm glad I've finally got on the show. I've been hearing all about other guests that you've had on the show, so I'm happy to be here. I guess, with my podcast as well, The Kiss and Tell, I talk about relationships, love, dating, and all sorts of things like that. And some of the songs that I've chosen have sort of fit into that theme. But I assume we'll get into that a little bit later. But I do have a bit of an explanation, like an overarching reason why I've chosen each song. But I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Well, I'm glad to have you on for, of course, this is the final show of Sidilicious Select. Because you're the guest who seems to have prepared the most. You've had the most weeks to get this ready and through.
You only told me about this last week. And
still, somehow, you've gone above and beyond for this is show number 9.
Wow! Oh, congratulations! That's so good.
Well, you're gonna be honest. Half of these recordings have gone missing / something's wrong with the audio, so I just had to give up. This year, I've decided I'm not going to spend hours and hours behind a screen trying to make something better when. We'll just wait till next week instead. But yeah, as you I assume are well aware of this show is I'm bringing on a guest, which clearly is you, and we are going to explore you through music taste. So I've asked you for three different segments of music, that being something for the lover, something for the dancer, and something for the traveller. Now, your interpretations of lover, dancer, and traveller, and the songs that you bring, are hopefully through that we'll be able to dissect who you are as a person. In addition with that, I'm going to also try and see if I can match your vibe. I've got to be honest, this week has been a little harder than normal. I do believe because some of the songs are either very, very small or so popular you can't find a match that you would have never heard before. So I'm going to try my best at least. Would you like to introduce your first song for Something for the Lover?
Yeah, so the first song that I chose is Please, 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 but not the Sabrina Carpenter version. Roxburgh Sessions cover that somebody who I know did. His name is Sam Ambers, incredible singer. And the reason that I chose this song, I think, when I thought of Lover, I thought of the hopeless romantic side of me, and I think the song really talks about wanting to make something work no matter what the circumstances are, and I guess purely because of how I felt rather than any actual logistical reasons of it working. But yeah, I do know Sam personally, and there might have been a bit of a situation there, but ultimately it's a brilliant piece of music. I love a live session.
Well, perfect. Well, we're hearing it shortly.
It's funny and it's ironic that only I feel this way. I promise him that you're different, and everyone makes mistakes, but just don't I heard that you're an actor, so act like a stand-up guy. Whatever devil's inside you, don't let him out tonight. I promise him it's your culture, and everyone rolls their eyes. Yeah, I know. I know. Please, 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 fresh air, but the ceiling fan is so nice. And we could live so happily if no one knows that you're with me. I'm just kidding, but really, but really, but really. Please, 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 don't prove I'm right. And please, 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 don't bring me to tears when I do this. My makeup's so nice. Heartbreak is the one thing my ego's under the. I beg you don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Please, 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 yeah. If you wanna go and act stupid, don't do it in front of this guy. If you don't wanna cry to my music, don't make me hate you prolifically. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah.
Alright, so that was Please Please Please, the, how would you say, Roxburgh session, and
Yeah, I said that it was sort of like pop jazz sort of music. I think obviously it's a pop song originally, and then he's done his own jazzy take on it.
it definitely got sort of that sort of big band vibe to it as well. That's what I was able to pick up from that. So now, tell me, I asked you to bring music to define you, so how did you do so?
So, the song was originally by Sabrina Carpenter. She was my #1 artist actually this year on Spotify Wrapped, which is a bit of a seismic shift in my life because the Vaccines have been my top artist on Spotify Wrapped for the last 4 years. So, that being taken over by a different artist and a pop artist especially is quite a big shift in my life. And I think quite a lot has changed in my life in the last year. But also, I think the actual message behind the song is something that I really resonate with because I guess I've been filming a lot of dating content and I talk quite openly about relationships online and just generally with my peers and people that I know around me. And the perception behind the song is basically Sabrina Carpenter saying if she's dating someone, she doesn't want to be embarrassed. I think the lyric that I think is amazing is heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. And I think it's such an interesting take these days, like in relationships. It's like I don't want to look stupid in front of my friends talking about when I really like someone and then thinking it's going to be great and then bigging them up to my friends and then realising that they're not so great of a person. And I think I've been stuck in a bit of a cycle of that happening at the moment, but that's what the podcast is for. And I think you just got to talk about it. And yeah,
That's really interesting. I've got to be honest, it's the first time I've even heard, well, obviously heard this take on it, but I actually haven't ever heard the original either. Different circles, clearly. I'm not too much of a poppy person. I was realising this, I've only got like 2 or 3 pop songs that I enjoy, and even then they're all like, I've got to hide away and very embarrassed by them. But you know, pop is literally called pop because it's popular, and popular means it's probably good enough for most people. And last I checked, I am also most people. So, did you ever feel that sort of stigma where, like, oh, now my favourite band is now actually a pop singer? Oh, I'm going to feel quite basic. Did you get that sort of feeling?
Yeah, potentially. I've seen a lot of memes even about girls saying that they love indie music, and actually their top artist was Sabrina Carpenter. And I guess as well, I'm a musician. I've been the lead singer of an indie rock band for the last 5 years. So I feel like I have to lead with that persona, and obviously Spotify Wrapped is a big part of people's identities as well. People talk about it all the time, especially at the moment. But I'm just owning it. I love Sabrina Carpenter's songwriting. She has such a fresh take on things, so...
Oh, well, that makes sense. I'm going to try and give you a song I don't think you've heard before. It's more dream poppy. Might match your vibe, I'm not too sure. This is We Talk All the Time by The Japanese House. Ever heard of it before?
No, I'm excited to listen to it. I think I've heard of The Japanese House before.
All right, then.
Try to picture something different instead of this pretend I don't exist. A paradigm shift. I was never here at all. And they said that we'd get on. won't touch anymore. But we talk all the time, so it's fine. Somebody tell me what I want, 'cause I keep changing my mind. I can see a progression, and I guess it's happening. A different direction, and I guess it's happening. Shall we start again? What you wanna do then? Going over and over, growing older and older. Let's think this through. What you wanna do? And your chin's on my shoulder, and you're turning me over. We don't fuck anymore, but we talk all the time, so it's fine. Somebody tell me what I want, 'cause I keep changing my mind. I can see a progression, and I guess it's happening. A different direction, and I guess it's happening. Don't fuck anymore, but we talk all the time, so it's fine. Somebody tell me what I want, 'cause I keep changing my mind. I can see a progression, and I guess it's happening. A different direction, and I guess it's happening.
Alright, so that was We Talk All the Time by the Japanese House. Now, during that song play, I noticed you picked up your phone. Am I correct in saying you might have added that to your
Yeah,
playlist?
I did add it to my December playlist, yeah.
So I'm glad that's 1 out of 3 done. That's the whole point of this, is I want to try and understand you and try and build on you as well. Try and give you new songs that you probably wouldn't have heard of. I can't remember where I heard this one. Dates back, I could check on my Spotify, dates back to about 2019 onwards.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it was lightning in the bottle. When I first heard it, I was like, you know what? This is my sort of genre. I'm not too much about lovey songs. Am I? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't like to characterise myself as too much of I love songs. But when I listen to it, it's like, yeah, I like this. I like this immediately.
I think that's the special thing about music, because your music taste, well, I like to lead my life this way. My music taste is constantly shaping and evolving and changing, and I just always want to try listening to new things, because you never know. You've probably still not heard your favourite song ever yet.
No, and I refuse to. That's why I did a thing for a while, quite a few. Actually, I've done it on and off for about a few years now, where I will review music, but I will be harsh. And my favourite album so far, favourite song, I'd like to review it by album, because one song's too short to get a proper review out of it. My favourite album so far I think it was an 8.2 out of 10, because there's so I'm still holding out for that 10. I want that, like a 10 out of 10 song is so amazing that I just die, because I can't have any experience better than that song. And I'm still holding out hope. One day.
I do feel like the next song that I've chosen is a 10 out of 10. I'll be completely honest.
Well, that's a natural segue. We're now going on to Something for the Dancer. All right. So, why? Why did you interpret your Something for the Dancer like this?
So I'm the lead singer of a band called Starks. I'm also a musician myself, and this is the sort of music that I listen to that really makes me want to be a musician. I do have a bit of a story. There is a date behind this, but I went on a date with a guy and went back to his house, and he played this on his vinyl and we danced in his kitchen. But it's not about that. I just think this song is so powerful. It's something that hearing this live would just absolutely change my life. It's the way that the crowd just goes crazy when they hear the introduction of this song, which is quite a long introduction, to be honest. But I feel like the feeling this song gives me is the feeling my early 20s give me, being spontaneous, potentially chaotic at times. But yeah, I just think it's such a special song, loved by so many different generations.
Go on, introduce it.
This is Hotel California by Eagles.
On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven and this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Mirrors on the ceiling, they pink champagne on ice. And she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they're gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Alright, so that was Hotel California. That was your pick for Dancer. Now,
Yeah.
why Dancer? Do you dance to that?
Because of firstly because of the story of coming back from a date with this guy, and then he put this song on his vinyl, and then we just like danced around in his kitchen. Never saw him again after that, but it was a fun night. But also just like, if I'm on stage for like a song like that, you know, you've got a guitar around you, it's just like such a live music vibe. Whether you're in the audience or on the stage, it's just like a song like that is just so feel good.
Yeah, that sort of genre is. If I was to hear that sort of stuff live, it would just be like an electric atmosphere, you know, that sort of thing where you're just sort of in awe at what's happening on stage. I haven't felt that sort of feeling in a while. I think I just haven't gone to a good enough gig. I need to go to like a really, really good one where they're just going to blow my mind with something amazing. Braincoats, please start touring out of Sweden, please. Like, go to the UK, I beg. Or even when I had Runners Club 95 on a few shows ago, they're like, oh yeah, we played in England. Like, really? Yeah, in London, of course, not England anymore. It's too far from me. I just wish I think my favourite ever gig I ever went to was Blank Banshee, when I saw them live. Vaporwave producer, so sort of slow, melodic, relaxing stuff, with a sort of weird, glitchy thing, but it was just amazing. Only weird thing about it, it's quite like a internety genre. I was the youngest person there by about 20 years. It's not the first time it's happened. Most of the gigs I've gone to in Leeds, I'm the youngest person there by 20 years. I remember going up to some guy who was performing at
Hyde Park Book Club.
I think I've already told you this story.
Yeah.
Okay, the listeners haven't, so it's fine. I went to get this guy, he had like 4 keyboards and voice box, all this sort of talk box even, just go mental on this stuff. I was like, oh, I just see another young face, like dude, I'm 35. I'm like, wow. Credit on the skincare routine, obviously, but like, I feel like I'm down with the kids. I'm 20, you know, I should be going there, it should be full of dabbing Zoomers and all that. Apparently not, though.
Dabbing Zoomers.
It's a valid term, because when I say that, you know exactly the sort of crowd I'm talking about.
I do, yeah.
There we go. Do you get that sort of crowd when you're playing?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, going through school, 2 of my bandmates were 2 school years below me, so we did have quite a young crowd. So we used to play in like village halls or places where like they weren't 18 plus venues, so we could get all our friends to come.
I love that.
It was grunge.
Sounds like fun. Well, I'm not going to be playing you grunge. I'm not sure if you heard this before. I remember them learning this song from El Camino. This is Sharing That Together by Dr. Hook.
You're looking kind of lonely, girl. Would you like someone new to talk to? Oh yeah, alright. I'm feeling kind of lonely too, if you don't mind. Can I sit down here beside you? Oh yeah, alright. If I seem to come on too strong, I hope that you will understand. I say these things cause I'd like to know if you're as lonely as I am, and if you'd mind sharing the night together. Oh, yeah, sharing the night together. Oh, yeah, sharing the night. We could bring in the morning, girl, if you wanna go that far. And if tomorrow finds us together right here, the way we are, would you mind sharing the night together? Oh, yeah, sharing the night together. Oh, yeah, sharing the night. Would you like to dance with me and hold me? You know I wanna be holding you. Oh yeah, alright. Cause I like feeling like I do when I see in your eyes that you're liking it, I'm liking it too. Oh yeah, alright. Like to get to know you better. Is there a place where we can go, where we can be alone together and turn the lights down low and start sharing the night together? Oh, yeah, sharing the night together. Oh, yeah.
sharing that together, Doctor Hook. What did you think then?
I really liked that. I think it's similar enough to Hotel California, but also it has quite like an older sort of vintagey feel to it, and I love music like that.
It's more relaxing, but you can still definitely dance to that. But there's definitely a dance with one person, whereas Hotel California, you can dance with a whole room. To be fair, if Doctor Hook was touring, I would be dancing in a whole room of people.
Yeah, me too.
It's just sort of a more relaxing, nice one. It came from El Camino. Well, it didn't come from it, but it was featured in that thing. I just listened to it, watching it. I was like, wow, it just fits so much better. During the break, we were talking about music within movies. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Like, would you rather go deaf or go blind when watching a movie? Because I honestly would very much rather go blind.
I would rather go blind than go deaf.
Because I love good cinematography, but a soundtrack is what makes it.
Definitely. And I was saying, so my favourite director ever is Edgar Wright. He directed the Cornetto trilogy, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Baby Driver. But every year he brings out a Spotify playlist of a lot of his favourite music. And I think one of his biggest pulls as a director is how brilliant he is in selecting soundtracks for movies, especially in things like Baby Driver, where it drives the narrative so well.
They are always impeccable. I never knew about this Spotify playlist, so I'm going to have to be giving that a listen. So the whole point of this show is to get you to add songs to your playlist, but I think I might have to download a lot of playlists at the moment now.
Well, he obviously, the new one for this year hopefully will be coming soon, but the one that I listened to from last year has been on my regular rotation on Spotify for the last year now.
Do you think it's just his top 100?
I feel like it might be 100 songs. I can't actually remember how many songs he has in each playlist, but it's really good. Edgar Wright's top 50 songs. It's only 50, actually.
Well, that means that just feels automatically it's not him just copying his top 100 from Spotify, so it definitely feels much more personal, and I like that. Do you think maybe he gets paid for it? I know there's quite a lot of business in Spotify where you have to, people with big playlists, big famous playlists, and they, people pay money for it. I remember it was 150 quid to have one of your songs in 3 different playlists for 2 weeks. Wow, that is insane expensive, because I've done a lot in the lo-fi business, so I'd get random DMs every so often. It's like, hey, do you have a playlist? I'm willing to pay to have my music played on it. I'm like, I don't have a playlist that you'd be happy to pay with. Which I think that's cool, but a bit predatory, because I like finding uncovered gems, and if I was to make playlists, I'd make sure I just do that sort of stuff. I wouldn't want to take money for it, because that's cheap experience. It
creates inequality as well, because you will want to make playlists with music that you truly love rather than whoever's giving you the most money.
Exactly. Now I think we should travel on to Sons of the Traveller. Explain yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so this is a song that I heard quite a lot playing in the office on my placement when I was living in London. So this is Sober by Siffo.
Enjoy it.
Savior to hold me
Alright, so that was Sci-Fi by Sober. Was it the other way around?
It was Sober by
Oh,
Sifo.
my apologies.
It's alright.
My apologies. So come on, explain this a bit.
So obviously the theme is traveller. Looking in my own life, I travelled to London for the last year. I've been doing a placement there, and I think sometimes if I hear a song in a certain place at a certain time, I will really associate it with that. So for me, it's sort of like, you know, a love song to London, and I heard it played in the office a lot where I was doing my placement. I feel like it's a fast-paced song. Everything feels really fast-paced in London, but also it's really easy to sort of get so caught up in it and really romanticise how exciting it is. But obviously, like, it's not perfect, and he's like saying, I don't care if my heart stops, but it's like, you know, everything's going so quickly and it almost feels like manic in a way. But I think on the other hand, what I think I'm truly the happiest I can be in Leeds. As much as London was great, it definitely wasn't perfect. I was able to meet some of the greatest friends I'll ever have in my entire life, luckily, but there was definitely lows as well in that time.
Clearly you're happiest in Leeds because you got invited onto Sidilicious Select, obviously.
Yeah, this is honestly the highlight of my week, and I think it's a shame it's only 1 PM on a Monday, because it's only going to go downhill from here.
I was going to say, it's not too good to say it's the highlight of the week when it's just started.
So far it has been the highlight of my week.
I'm not taking it as a compliment, I'm sorry. It's too short of a period. But yeah, that song's very high paced, but also the vocals and stuff like that was so lovely and relaxing. Like, if you just cut that out, that can definitely go to some very like soulful music into it.
I thought you might like this song, actually. Yeah.
Well, I'm a man of contrast. I love my songs either million BPM or 2, or I love a good slow song. That's what I've been planning on doing. So now we've gone to the end of something for Traveller. I always end it on a wild card. So this is something to see, you know, picking up what you're putting down. I think you might enjoy this, specifically Shot in the Dark. All right, where it'd be like I've had people who they've really enjoyed nothing but punk rock music, grungy music. And I gave them a Scar album, and they went, this has changed me forever. Luckily, they didn't become like a mod, you know, wearing all that sort of stuff, but they just enjoy that sort of stuff. Just give them music they wouldn't have heard of before. So, how good are you with jungly jazz?
See, I'm not as familiar with jungle. I do love jazz. I went to Ronnie Scott's quite a lot as a child. So, I like my jazz music, but this is new for me.
Well, I think you're going to enjoy this one, because it's going to be fun and jazzy. Lots of brass. This is Giovanni Scorpio, Blurring the Lines. All right, so that was Blurring the Lines, Giovanni Scorpio. What did you think? Too chaotic? Too much?
That was brilliant. I really, really liked that. I think I've always been a fan of jazz music, but also since I've been living in Leeds, I think I've been introduced to a lot of other genres that are like jungle or D&B or similar to that, and I was never a fan of it at first, but I think my taste in music is slowly, it's becoming more to my taste, I think.
Well, I'm glad. I think nowadays it's becoming more and more of a trend where fusion music is taking off. I think maybe it's because we might be closing in on the death of music. Every single song that can be made has been made, so now the only thing we've got left is to sort of mix two together and hope they work. What do you think on that?
I wouldn't say that means it's the death of music. I think it's like it's a rebirth in a way, because it's like regenerating and recycling out things that already exist, I think, as well. Just the use of like sampling and interpolation in music, as well as like really, really interesting and great to hear. And I feel like I might have had this conversation with you recently, but it's the best feeling when you're listening to a song and you know where originally it had been like interpolated from, or if you hear little snippets, you're like, oh, I know that's a sample from this other song, and it's like the best feeling picking that out. And I think actually using other pieces of music as influences can help you create new things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
Yeah, I hope coming into the future, hopefully soon enough, there'll be some legislative change where sampling in music becomes so much more easy, because at the moment still it becomes any sort of sampling is still viewed as stealing, when I feel music is dead, long live music, where we can just have music and just use it for whatever way we see fit. Maybe some sort of new system where if I sample one song for 10% of my song, they get 10% of the revenue or something. Some sort of better system, because music now deserves and they need to be sampled. Of course, this is from a guy who's obsessed with barbara beats, which is one of its core tenets, apart from jazz, apart from down-tempo and trip-hop. Apart from that is hyper-sampling, plunderphonics it's called, where they're just stealing so much stuff. Modern-day pirates, and I think we need to embrace it more, because if someone's got a really good lick, I can't use it anymore, because they don't. No, I don't care. I'm going to use it and reinterpret it in my own way. I don't know about you, but in your creative process, do you ever find yourself, I've made a song, oh wait, actually just these three songs mashed together?
Yeah, sometimes if I show people my demos and I say, oh, it's meant to sound similar to, The Walls Are Way Too Thin by Holly Humberstone, and if they've heard the song, they'll be like, oh, I can really see that. But then it's like, where do you draw the line between me sounding like I'm ripping off Holly Humberstone compared to me being inspired by her? But obviously, when I go to a session, I show my producer like 2 or 3 songs that I really like, and then he'll try and like lay down a track that sounds similar, and I'll play him if I've written like a verse or a chorus or whatever. I'll play that to him as well. But then we change it enough that it's not clear that we've just copied it. But
I mean, for me, my views are very, very, very progressive on this. It's going to be the only point when you're starting to rip them off is when you play the entire song, every single lyric. Then we're thinking about it. But you can use 99% of the song, as long as that you add that 1% difference, the Anna style to it. Then it's yours. It's you. You own it, all right? Because music is a deeply personal thing, and music is the best way to. I think, like physical media, stuff like paintings, are the best way to express an emotion, but the best way to transfer an emotion is through music. So if a song is almost there to express how you are, how you're feeling, and what you're thinking, add it up a little bit, change it up a bit, to make it match perfectly the feelings you're expressing, and release it. I think feel free in that. But now we're going to the end of the show. So I want to ask you the first question. Do you think I've successfully been able to understand you better through your musical taste?
I think so. Yeah, I hope so. I think it's really something I really enjoy actually in friendships is just sharing music with other people. Like I went up to one of my colleagues the other day and I was like, oh, what songs do you recommend? And I just gave him my phone and he just added like 6 or 7 songs to my playlist, and I was just like, that's amazing, that's exactly what I want to hear, because then I can just listen to it in my own time. But I think it's such a nice thing to do, to listen to other people's music. I struggle with my sister, for example, because she listens to a lot of drum and bass and not much else, and I find it difficult to understand that. But I think we've been friends for a little while now, but it's like another level of the friendship now, learning more about each other's taste in music. But I feel like I need to do the same back with you now, because you have such an eccentric style of like what everything is that you listen to, but also there's so much.
That's the issue. It's very much too much, as many people say. But I'm going to try and get you on my show next semester. It's going to be Barbageddon. I'm going to explore Barber Beats. I'm going to have me, the expert, talk about it. I'm going to bring on people who haven't been exposed to the genre, maybe only heard a little bit through being my friend, and see if I can get a new fan and what they want to take away from it. Now, what have you taken away from the show? I've given you 3 songs. How many of them are you adding to your playlists?
Well, I've added 2 out of the 3. I would have added all 3, but the final song's only available on Bandcamp, but I'll listen to it on there.
So, in spirit, 3 out of 3.
Well, yeah, in spirit, definitely 3 out of 3. I love discovering new music, and I think Spotify's been less good recently at recommending new things to me. It just seems to want to recommend, like, Gracie Abrams, who's, like, a massive pop musician at the moment, and I'm not really interested in her, and Spotify doesn't seem to understand that.
What I've been doing recently is this weird thing where I'll get Spotify open on my computer and play it through my surround sound, and just hold my phone, leave my phone next to one of the speakers on Shazam, because then it will hallucinate some songs that are wrong. They're pretty close. And you know what? That's better than finding new music through Spotify. Just having Shazam be slightly wrong, because it will sound very similar, and of course, if it sounds similar to what I like, it'd be pretty good. Even easier for DJing, because then, these sound really similar.
Oh,
so I can mix
that's
them quite
clever.
easily. But now that we've got to the end of the show, we're going to go back to the banger block, which can be this week. All of our beds and this banger block have been provided to us by Models by Default from their album Guillotine, released about 2 years ago. So I'm going to see if you can try and explore this and enjoy this. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Any final notes we'd like to give to the listeners?
Whatever happens in the future with whatever new shows you do on LSR, I'll be really excited to listen or to potentially be a part. It'll be great. But yeah, it's been a pleasure being on the show. Thank you so much for having me, Sid.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you, of course, for listening. I've been Sidilicious, I guess signing out for the semester.
Oh, it's been a great one.
Thank you.